Sevgili seyirciler, Aramızda Müzik Var ile yeniden birlikteyiz. Müzik yolculuğumuzun bu haftaki durağı Berlin. Burada bulunmamızın nedeni konuğum piyanist Peter Bence. Spree Nehri'nin kıyısındaki bataklık alana kurulan Berlin, adını da bu yüzden Slav kökenli ve bataklık anlamlı Berl kelimesinden alır. Şehrin kuruluşu 1237'de gerçekleşir. Tekrar yangın, veba ve savaşlar ile sarsıldıktan sonra kalkınmaya başlar. 1701'de Prusya Krallığı'nın hükümet kenti olur. Artık aydınlanma çağının merkezidir. Önde gelen bir endüstri şehridir. 1871'de Alman İmparatorluğu kurulurken Berlin de imparatorluğun başkentidir. Birinci Dünya Savaşı ve ardından teslimiyet başkenti derin bir krize sokar ve cumhuriyet ilan edilir. Zor ekonomik şartlara ve devrim karmaşalarına rağmen kültürel hayat gelişmeye devam eder. 1933'te Hitler'in iktidara gelişiyle şehrin kara günleri başlar. İkinci Dünya Savaşı sonrası harabeye dönen şehir ikiye bölünür. Bir duvarla ayrılır hayatlar, insanlar. 28 yıl süren acı 1989'da sona erer. Duvar yıkılır, şehir birleşir ve yeniden başkent olur. Berlin, 782 yıldır oynadığı siyasi role ve geçirdiği tüm zorluklara rağmen kültür, sanat ve bilim şehri olma misyonunu asla kaybetmiyor. Berlin'de Spree Nehri üzerinde küçük bir ada var. Ki şu anda biz o adanın üzerindeyiz. Bu adaya 1830 ve 1930 yılları arasında ünlü mimarlar tarafından müze olarak kullanılmak üzere 5 adet bina inşa edilmiş. Ve bu binalar müze mimarisi açısından öncü olmuş. Buranın adı da Berlin Müze Adası. Buradaki müzelerde 6000 yıllık kültür tarihi sergileniyor. Müzelerin eski Mısır ve Yakın Doğu medeniyetlerinden Orta Çağ, Hristiyan ve İslam sanatına ve 19. yüzyıl Avrupa'sına kadar uzanan zengin bir koleksiyonu var. Ve burası 1999 yılında Dünya Miras Listesi'ne eklenmiş. Adada ilk önce karşımıza eski müze çıkıyor. 1820'li yıllarda inşa edilen müze binası, Klasizm döneminin önemli yapılarından biri. Bölgedeki diğer tüm binalar gibi İkinci Dünya Savaşı sırasında hasar görmüş ve sonradan yeniden inşa edilmiş. Müze, Romalıların, Yunanlıların ve Etrüsklerin sanatını ve kültürünü tanıtıyor ve antik eserler koleksiyonu barındırıyor. İkinci sırada Yunan tapınağı görünümlü eski ulusal galeri var. 1876 yılında açılan müze, ziyaretçilerine neoklasik, romantik, izlenimci ve erken modernist dönemlere ait zengin bir resim ve heykel koleksiyonu sunuyor. Hemen yan tarafta yer alan yeni müze, Mısır ve papirüs, Prehistoria, eski çağ tarihi ve antik eserler koleksiyonlarına ev sahipliği yapıyor. Müze adasının bir de ziyaretçi merkezi var. James Simon Gallery. Bina mimarisiyle hem tarihi binalarla bütünleşiyor hem de modern bir vurgu yapıyor. Anadolu topraklarının zenginliği açısından bizi en çok ilgilendiren müze ise Pergamon Museum, yani Bergama Müzesi. Antik eserler, Ön Asya ve İslam sanatları bölümlerinden oluşan müzenin en dikkat çekici parçası Bergama Sunağı rekonstrüksiyonu. Ve adanın en ucunda kubbesiyle dikkat çeken Bode Müzesi var. Müzenin Bizans sanatı ve heykel koleksiyonlarının yanı sıra zengin bir madeni para ve madalya koleksiyonu da var. Berlin'in en önemli meydanlarından birinde Gendarmenmarkt'tayız. Meydanın tam ortasında yer alan bu görkemli bina Konzerthaus. 1776'da Fransız Komedi Tiyatrosu olarak açılmış, 10 yıl sonra ulusal tiyatroya dönüştürülmüş. Salon tarihi öneme sahip. Burada Mozart ve Schiller kendi eserlerini izlemiş. Wagner ve Bartholdy ise kendi eserlerini yönetmiş. 1984'te Konzerthaus adını alan salon 2000 kişilik izleyici kapasitesine sahip. Tiergarten'da heykeltıraş Gustav Eberlein tarafından yapılmış Wagner anıtına geldik. Richard Wagner, klasik müzik tarihinin en önemli bestecilerinden biri. Alman besteci 1813 ve 1883 yılları arasında yaşamış. Milliyetçi tavrı yüzünden sevildiği kadar eleştiri de alan Wagner, farklı sanat türlerinin bir arada ele alınıp ideal sanat formuna ulaşması teorisini de ortaya koymuş ve operada devrim yapmıştır. İkinci Dünya Savaşı sonrası Berlin'i ikiye bölen Berlin Duvarı biliyorsunuz 1989 yılında yıkıldı. Duvarın yıkılmamış 1300 metrelik kısmı ise 1990 yılında verilen özel bir izinle 100 küsur sanatçı tarafından yapılan duvar resimleriyle kaplandı. Burası hem bir açık hava galerisi hem de özgürlük anıtı olarak nitelendiriliyor. Gelin dünyanın bu en büyük açık hava galerisinin önemli birkaç eserini birlikte görelim. Jens Helge Damen'den Pneumo Humanoiden, Dmitri Vrubel'den Andrei Sakharov'a teşekkürler. Henry Schmidt'ten Aşkı Unutma. Şamil Grayev'den Biz Bir İnsanız. Karsten Wentzel'den Cehaletin Direnci. Alexei Taranin'den Uluslararası Duvar. Ve Rosemary Schintzler'den Yetiştirmek. thank you very much for this opinion. We get together here.
Oh no, thank you so much for coming and
you have a beautiful piano here, and we just played.
It's not mine, man. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's start with your childhood.
Okay.
How was it, you?
So for me, it was very early on that I got to be introduced to music, and there was an upright piano at my grandparents' home, and so I could barely walk. I would crawl up to the piano and start playing something from ear, because of course that's maybe something from the cartoons, like some melodies. And so it was pretty clear early on that I had something with music. So the first time I went to music school, it was, officially going to music school, was when I was 5. From that point, it was really, really obvious for me to pursue music, and even not just playing the piano, but making music, composing music. I was very creative in a way that I think I was probably 7 years old when I composed my first piece, but it was more or less a copying of Mozart or something.
You said, yes, I have a talent.
At that time, I was much more into classical music, and I would only study classical music and listen to classical music. And so for me, it was really serious, and I didn't think about it as, I discovered a talent. I just kept doing it because it was from so early age that I basically, I would always say, like, piano is my second language after Hungarian, because it was something there.
That's beautiful. And your mother and father was happy with that?
Yeah. They were very supportive, and they provided with everything they could to support my endeavors. And,
how many times you were spending to play piano at home?
Pretty much all my free time, until, of course, I got into high school, and there was much more demand for a lot of practice and so many pieces to learn. And to be honest, like, I wasn't, I think, the best student, in a way that I hated to practice what I was told to practice, because I always wanted to play whatever I wanted to play. I didn't want people to tell me what I should play for the exam. I would hate that so much. So I was not the perfect example of a student.
I heard this same things from so many musicians.
Really?
Yeah. Tell me, how was your musical story?
Okay, so we were at the point of, I don't know. So after this regular music school, I went on to... I applied to the Academy of Music in Debrecen after elementary school, which was pretty unusual. And I actually got accepted, but I skipped the university because then I would need to take the regular high school at the same time. And so many people told me, this is impossible, you shouldn't do that. Wow. And so I went on to this high school, which is concentrating on music. And so I went there to continue studying piano, and I started studying composition as well. So composition and piano, and at that time, I would start to listen to so many different kinds of music, from film scores like John Williams. I was a huge fan. Still, I'm a huge fan, and also, I don't know, some other things that opened up my narrowed down classical view of things, and I started to listen to a lot of things eventually, and Michael Jackson. And there was so many artists that contributed and inspired me so much that finally I got to the point that I thought, okay, classical music is no more for me, because I questioned the fact that why would people, so many people, study the same things like classical music. It's amazing, and it's so great for your techniques and to give you a foundation of things. But then if I think about it, doing that professionally, going on stage and performing the same songs that has been performed million times by thousands of incredible musicians. What's the point, really? Like, if you cannot add your own twist, if you cannot maybe recompose parts of it, then if I wanted to listen to classical music, I just put, I don't know, the best record there is, maybe Bach from Glenn Gould, or I don't know. And I wouldn't go to the concert because I know that if I put it in my system at home and listen to it, it would be much more amazing, actually. But I'm just saying that, to me, having new thoughts and maybe give a fresh perspective to classical or any kinds of music was so important to me, because that's the point of, I think, live music.
Happily, you were successful about that, you know, and you realize that. Sometimes you start, but it doesn't go well, you know.
Yeah.
What was the breaking point of your musical career?
Well, it started like right after high school, which it's kind of a turning point where I decided, okay, so I started to look for a university that I could go on to study, but I didn't want to go to university that only teaches classical or jazz. So there was this, apparently the number one contemporary music institution in the world, Berklee College of Music in Boston. Yeah. So
you went there.
A lot of people that I admired already so much turned out that they went there as well. So it was no brainer for me. I wanted to go to Berklee, and I actually did. I studied there for 2.5 years or something.
What was the unforgettable concert in your life?
Actually, all of them are special for some reason. Like, I have memories of maybe bits of things that I did differently or something happened differently. Most of the time positive, sometimes negative, but
Hyde Park.
Hyde Park is very special.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding. Yes, because it was such a, it's an iconic place. Playing the BBC Proms in the park, which is the final concert of this festival. And it's in the Hyde Park, which so many great musicians have already played, like from Queen, from the Beatles, everybody. Yeah. And to experience 50,000 people listening to the music, oh my God. So it's
unforgettable. Really.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. How you decided to cover so famous song?
For me, the first thing, the most important thing, was that I really had to like and be in love with the music. So that's why I started out with those Michael Jackson songs, and I just had this feeling: how can I interpret this music to piano that it doesn't lose the energy, doesn't lose the grooviness, and it was such a huge challenge actually, because it's just one instrument. Of course, you can do many things, but you only have 10 fingers. And so I wanted to have the bass line, I wanted to have the chords, the melody, the grooviness, and everything. Was complicated, but I really felt there's something that suits me so much, because I love to compose, I love to arrange. So putting my own spin on popular songs that resonates with me so much was really like a good combination. So that's how I started Michael Jackson, and then of course Queen songs and Beatles and everything.
And you have the necessary satisfaction in it.
Oh yeah.
Then you love what you're doing, because you bring something from yourself. And I love those things too,
Yeah, that I compose, and people maybe don't know that those are like original pieces in there, but it's like making something
For
new.
me, it was a great surprise when Here Comes the Sun. We played together. In the half of it, suddenly something is changing. It brings some really good, beautiful energy in it, I really loved it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Today we play together covers, but you composed song too.
I'm still, for me, composition, I mean, as far as to the public, it's still incubation because I haven't really shared any of my original music yet, maybe except for one or two. But on my upcoming album, I actually plan to release a lot more. And for me, composition, like that's my favorite thing, even if it goes composing music and then making covers, and people don't know it yet. But I'm really, I feel really confident and strong with the ideas that I've been developing over the past years. And so for me, of course, when I was, I studied film scoring actually at Berkeley, so I had to compose a lot of music.
What is your source inspiration about that?
Generally speaking, I would get any kind of inspiration from a dancer, from a singer, from anybody, basically. Interestingly, if I think about piano playing, I don't get inspired by other pianists. I get inspired by other instrumentalists or other. It's for me, it's more important because if I get inspired by, that's why I don't prefer to watch a lot of piano videos because I don't want to know. If they do something better, I don't want to know. The only thing I care about is that I do something different, and for that reason, I have to listen to not piano music.
Not piano.
Yeah.
You are right. If you want to describe your music, what you can tell them about that?
Nowadays, like as far as these covers and my new originals go, I would say that the special thing is that I've limited myself as a composer to use only the sounds that a single piano can produce. So everything you will hear on those tracks, even the kick drum and those percussion parts and everything is produced by a piano. So that's when my studies from Berkeley as a sound engineer comes in. I make all these samples and record everything about the piano. And when I later put it back together, it sounds like a whole orchestra is playing. So that's a limitation for myself that I thought it would be a great idea to compose music only using sounds from
in Berkeley. Also, you enter in the lessons for recording engineering.
Some lessons, yeah. I am not professional. I wouldn't be like.
But you did a really good job because a musician had to know
exactly.
What is the sound.
I agree. Yeah. I completely agree. Even it's mostly true nowadays that it's not enough to be just a singer or just something. You have to know everything. You have to know everything.
You are right.
And of course, as a mission, like I feel that breaking these boundaries between musical genres, especially classical and popular music, is so important to me because people tend to label things like this is classical and this is the only way, or this is popular, and maybe a fan of Michael Jackson wouldn't listen to Bach, but if I merge them together, maybe they will say, oh, it's not too bad. I can listen to classical music, or vice versa. So it's really amazing, and also to inspire younger generations to show themselves that piano is actually cool. Piano is one of the coolest instruments, and it doesn't have to be played in a certain way. You can be free, and
you don't have to be slave.
Yeah, exactly, and just to inspire people to
by new ideas, new thoughts.
And to start playing music or listening to music with a different ear.
Yeah, you're right. Do you have any new plans? New ideas, new dreams,
Of course, but first I need to finish my old plans, and which is, of course, finishing the album and finally releasing it, making some new videos. As a matter of fact, it's today we're gonna make a new video as well. So it's not a secret if I tell right now that I'm blending AC/DC with Beethoven. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't have these huge plans. because my idea is that if I have these huge expectations what to do next year or the year after, usually I think 90% of the time, even for most successful people, it's not going to be the same thing as you imagine. So you get a little disappointed. And so what I think is better is that I just keep doing whatever I feel like the best or whatever I'm happy doing. And it will eventually go to the right direction.
What do you think about the digital world? Because I think that young generation as you, it is the most important part of life.
Exactly. Today, it's possibly the most important thing. Especially as an artist, you have to be present on the social media and everything. And because that's the best way to connect with the audience.
Yeah.
There's no such thing anymore as I don't know, it always evolves, and you don't go out on the street and convince people, oh, look how I play music or whatever. It's internet is the surface, and there, you get your audience, and I think it's amazing that people can connect in such ways. It's amazing.
Yeah, but it's finished. There is no record anymore. There is no CDs.
That's true. That's true.
You have all the time. You have to download or you have to streaming something. Sometimes I love to have some material in my hand.
I have to agree. There's only one problem with this digital world, is that music is now everywhere. Yeah. You get music pretty much. You go into an elevator, there's music. You go somewhere in the hall, there's music. Music constantly. Yeah. And what it does is it actually devalues music, because maybe hundreds of years ago, when in the classical era, there was no music, never. Maybe if they went to the church once in a week, on a mass on Sunday, they would hear some music. So it had such a huge importance. Yeah. And nowadays it's just, So what I did, it's a problem of our world, I think. And what I did, for example, I went to visit Toto, the band, a few months ago, one of the best concerts.
Yeah, and for me also one of the best.
I love them so much. And what I did was I told myself and my family, don't listen to Toto now, before going to the concert. Actually, don't listen to any music for 2 days. So when you go to the concert, you feel fine.
Yeah. So, I am agree with you,
Yeah, just some silence, and then you go to the concert.
For me also, Toto is the best. You play in Izmir. What is your opinion about the Turkish audience?
Very warm and welcoming, and I just loved every second of being there. And especially, I remember after the concert, there were so many kids coming. I think they were studying music, studying piano, and they were so happy to meet me after the concert. It was so touching. I remember that particular concert is one of the most special I remember every day. And so I'm really looking forward to the concert in Istanbul. I hope to.
It is September 13th.
Yeah.
We're going to be there.
Yeah.
Do you have any new surprise for the audience?
The songs will be a little bit different, of course. I will play the new songs, which was not available before, last year. And I will change some things a little bit, and maybe I have a surprise or something. I don't know yet.
You're not going to tell the surprise, of course. Surprise is surprise.
Surprise is
of course. How you pass your day?
I don't wake up too early. I don't know what counts too early. I like to wake up around 8:30, maximum 9. Yeah. After 9, I would feel, my day is
finished.
Destroyed. It's finished. Or if I wake up earlier than 7, it's it's impossible for me. So somewhere in between. Yeah. But then I love to cook. It's the second favorite thing after music that I love to cook. There's so much passion in me when it comes
Then it's
to
like
cooking.
your hobbies then.
All the time. If I have some free time, I'm always cooking.
You are.
And so I cook my breakfast. But for me, cooking is like, I take it very seriously, even maybe more seriously than music. Because there's one thing, maybe I would make, I don't know, an omelette for breakfast. And I would make the omelette every day for like 2 weeks until it's perfect. Or maybe I make pizza and you make the dough and make everything from scratch.
How it comes from your family or?
Actually, no. Nobody was
Pushing.
nobody that I know had so much passion for.
You love to eat then also.
Of course.
But you are thin.
Yeah, I mean, I still love to eat, but not yet showing.
You make sport on piano then.
Yeah, this measures the heart rate, and I did for some concerts, and it's like 150, 160, 170 for almost 2 hours, so it's working out. I like to, I don't know, be in nature, or go hiking, but that's
it's not
many times I have. I would go for a long bicycle tour. I like
great.
Being bicycle.
Happy that you have a bicycle and this is a flat country. Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you very much.
I don't have any other questions.
Thank you so much.
To be here.
It was such a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Sevgili seyirciler, bir bölümümüzün daha sonuna geldik. Berlin'deydik, Peter Bence ile birlikteydik. Aramızda müzik vardı. Sizin de aranızda sınırlar değil, sevgi, hoşgörü, müzik ve sanat olsun. Hoşça kalın.